Hello, dear students. I'm Assistant Professor Roshali Ahir, and in our today's session of MSc Part First Microbiology, we are going to learn about the glycolysis and gluconeogenesis. As we have already started with the Unit 4, which is carbohydrate, your Unit 4 consists of different pathways, which includes glycolysis also. Now, the glycolysis was the term taken from the Greek language in which glykis it means sweet and lysis meaning splitting. Here the breakdown of sugars is carried out. So this process it is known as glycolysis. It is also known as Embden-Meyerhof pathway or EMP pathway, which is an oxidative process in which 1 mole of glucose is partially oxidized into 2 moles of pyruvate. And these conversion or breakdown of glucose into pyruvic acid it is carried out with the help of various enzyme catalyzed reactions. Now basically glycolysis the major pathway for metabolism. It occurs in the cytoplasm of all the cells. And it is slightly unique pathway which occurs anaerobically or aerobically, and it does not involve the molecular oxygen. It means it does not requires oxygen to perform this process. Now, generally the glycolysis process it is carried out in two parts. First one, it is known as preparation phase or in energy investment phase, in which glucose is converted into fructose 1,6 bisphosphate by utilizing ATP or by using energy. This first step is carried out, and the second phase or part 2 of glycolysis it is known as payoff phase or energy generation phase, in which energy is generated by the conversion of fructose 1,6 diphosphate into 2 pyruvic acid. Now how does these two parts of glycolysis carried out, that we will see step by step. Generally the glycolysis it is carried out in 10 major steps, and when all the 10 major steps are carried out we get the overall net equation of glycolysis, in which pyruvic acid is produced as well as the energy or ATPs are released in the net reaction of glycolysis. So we will actually now start with the glycolysis process. Here the coenzyme NAD+, which is a biological oxidizing agent, it converts carbon and hydrogen bond into carbon oxygen bond, which involves the reduction of NAD+ into NADH plus H plus ions. Here the phosphorylation process is carried out for the generation of energy. Let's study this process one by one. See, as we have discussed earlier that glycolysis process it is carried out in various steps. It involves 10 important steps, in which the first step it is phosphorylation. Now, in phosphorylation process or in step 1, glucose is phosphorylated by ATP to form the sugar phosphate molecule. Now here what happens, the negative charge on the phosphate, it prevents the passage of sugar phosphate through the plasma membrane by trapping the glucose inside the cell. Now glucose, when it is trapped inside the cell, the charges cannot passage through the sugars. So the irreversible reaction is carried out in step 1, and this irreversible reaction, it is catalyzed with the help of hexokinase enzyme. This hexokinase enzyme is present in all the cells of all the type of organisms, and this hexokinase enzyme, it converts glucose into glucose 6 phosphate in step 1. When step 1 is completed and formation of glucose 6 phosphate is carried out, then the glycolysis enters in the second step. The second step in the glycolysis, it is isomerization. In isomerization, what happens? A readily reversible rearrangement of the chemical structure moves the carbonyl oxygen from carbon 1 to carbon 2, which forms a ketose from the aldose sugar. Here in diagram also you can see that the rearrangement of carbonyl group is carried out. From first carbon, the carbonyl oxygen is transferred here. You can see from the first carbon, the carbonyl oxygen, it is transferred to the second carbon, and when these carbonyl carbon, it is transferred from first to second carbon, there is formation of ketose sugar with the help of aldose sugar. Here you can see the glucose 6 phosphate, it is the aldose sugar, and this aldose sugar, it is converted into ketose sugar, which is fructose 6 phosphate. Thus the isomerization of glucose 6 phosphate to fructose 6 phosphate is the conversion of an aldose sugar into ketose sugar, and this whole process, it is carried out with the help of enzyme phosphoglucose isomerase. Once the second step is completed, then the glycolysis enters in the third step. Third step, here it is again the phosphorylation step. Here the substrate or the product of second step, which is fructose 6 phosphate, it is phosphorylated with the help of phosphofructokinase enzyme. Here the new hydroxyl group on carbon 1 is phosphorylated by ATP in preparation for the formation of 3 carbon sugar phosphate. Fructose 6 phosphate is phosphorylated by ATP to form the fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. Now, why here the prefix bis is attached? The prefix bis in the bisphosphate means that two separate monophosphate groups are present in single molecule, whereas the prefix di, it means two phosphate group are present and are connected by the anhydride bond. Here in step 3, it is also the irreversible reaction which is catalyzed with the help of enzyme phosphofructokinase. Here in step 3, it is only the conversion of fructose 6 phosphate into fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. Then the next step is the step 4, which is cleavage. Now here what happens, the product of step 3 is split into 2,3 carbon intermediate compound. Here what happens, the 6 carbon sugar is cleaved to produce 2,3 carbon molecules. One is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, which is also known as GAP, and second one is dihydroxyacetone phosphate, which is also known as DHAP. Now here this reaction, it is catalyzed by the aldolase enzyme, and in the next step only the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate can proceed as an intermediate through the glycolysis process. Now we have already seen up till now that up till step 3 only single molecule was generated, but in step 4 two molecules are formed, and these two molecules are glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. But in the next step only glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is involved, which helps to carry out step 5. And in step 5 dihydroxyacetone phosphate is rearranged into a second glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Here now rearrangement is carried out, means step 5 is also the isomerization step. What happens, dihydroxyacetone phosphate is isomerized, and when isomerization is carried out it forms glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. The isomerization of these 3 carbon phosphorylated sugar, it is catalyzed by enzyme which is triose phosphate isomerase. These triose phosphate isomerase carry out the isomerization process, and these isomerization, here you can see in the diagram, it is carried out on dihydroxyacetone phosphate, which is converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Then comes step 6. In the step 6, two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate are oxidized. The enzyme glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate dehydrogenase catalyzes the conversion of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate into 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate, which is also known as 1,3 BPG. Okay, 1,3 BPG formation is carried out with the help of enzyme glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate dehydrogenase. Here what happens, this reaction, it occurs in two steps. The first step, the oxidation of aldehyde to the carboxylic acid by NAD plus is carried out, and in the second step the joining of carboxylic acid and orthophosphate to form the acetyl phosphate product is carried out. Okay, here you can see that new phosphate group, it is attached with the high energy bond to 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. Then comes step 7. Here the in step 7 the energy is produced. The transfer of the high energy phosphate group which was generated in step 6 is carried out to ADP from ATP. In step 6, here you can see in step 6, here the phosphate group which contains high energy, these high energy phosphate group generated in step 6 is transferred to ADP, and after this transformation it is converted, or this ADP it forms into ATP in step 7. This formation of ATP, it is referred to as substrate level phosphorylation, because the phosphate donor, which is 1,3 BPG or 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate, is a substrate with high phosphoryl transfer potential. And this process is carried out with the help of enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase, in which one 3 bisphosphoglycerate, it is converted into 3 phosphoglycerate. Okay, then once the 7th step is completed, the glycolysis enters into step number 8. In this step, the remaining phosphate ester linkage in 3 phosphoglycerate is moved. Here what happens, the 3 phosphoglycerate, it is isomerized into 2 phosphoglycerate with the help of enzyme phosphoglycerate mutase. This phosphoglycerate mutase, it moves from third carbon to the second carbon, which helps in the formation of 2 phosphoglycerate. Here you can see the phosphate group, it is present on the third carbon. The phosphate group which was present on the third carbon, it is moved from third carbon to the second carbon. And when this phosphate group moves from third carbon to second carbon, the isomerization process is carried out, and this conversion or movement is carried out with the help of phosphoglycerate mutase enzyme, and this conversion leads to the formation of 2 phosphoglycerate from 3 phosphoglycerate, and this interconversion process is carried out in the 8th step of glycolysis. Then the process enters in the 9th step. Here the enzyme enolase, it catalyzes dehydration of 2 phosphoglycerate. Dehydration means the removal of water. In the 9th step, the removal of water from 2 phosphoglycerate is carried out, which creates a high energy enol phosphate linkage. Here, the enzyme catalyzes this step is enolase enzyme, and this enolase inhibits the formation of fluorides. In this process, high energy is generated and highest energy phosphorylated compound is metabolized, and formation of phosphoenol pyruvate is carried out in the ninth step from 2-phosphoglycerate. Then comes the final step of glycolysis. Now the final substrate level dehydration in the glycolysis pathway, it is carried out in the 10th step. Here, phosphoenol pyruvate, it serves as a donor to phosphoryl group and the transfer of high energy phosphate group which was generated in the ninth step is carried out to ADP which forms ATP. In the 10th step, ATP formation is carried out from ADP, and this is the last step in the glycolysis, which is irreversible transfer of phosphoryl group from phosphoenol pyruvate to ADP, which is catalyzed by pyruvate kinase enzyme. Here, pyruvate kinase enzyme, it converts phosphoenol pyruvate to our final product, which is pyruvate. It involves the conversion of ADP into ATP, and these pyruvate kinase, it requires K plus and Mg plus ions for this interconversion, and this process or this conversion, it is the irreversible reaction. And once the 10th step is completed, the glycolysis process or the cycle is completed. Here you can see the complete summary of glycolysis, which involves all the 10 steps. And if we see the net reaction of glycolysis, here what happens? Glucose plus 2 NAD plus 2 ADP plus 2 H2PO4, they are converted to pyruvate. See, here you can see the overall net equation which is carried out in all the 10 reaction. Here what happens? Glucose plus 2 NAD plus 2 ADP plus 2 phosphates are converted to 2 pyruvates, and energy is released in the form of 2 NADH plus 2 ATP, and water molecules are released. Now glycolysis, it is the exergonic reaction which produces 2 ATPs and 2 NADH, which helps in the release of energy. So this was all about the glycolysis process or glycolysis cycle. So in our today's session, we have seen the complete steps involved in the glycolysis process. In the next session, we will study about the gluconeogenesis process, and then we'll study the regulation of it. Thank you.